You ever catch yourself staring into the blue and silver haze and wonder if the Lions are standing on the edge of a cliff or gearing up to leap into glory? Is this the season Detroit faces its fiercest test yet? A moment where hope and heartbreak collide so loudly it shakes the soul of a city? Inside these guttural roars and silent locker room conversations, whispers flutter like ghosts through the streets of Ford Field, secrets heavier than the weight of history itself. Light up the comments if you feel that electric tension pulsing through the heart of Motor City. If your mind races with every headline, every rumor, every whispered doubt. Because behind closed doors, the pulse of the franchise is caught in a storm. Executives are holding their breath, coaches exchange wary glances, and the fan base? We're glued to every syllable, desperate to know. What happens to Jameson Williams? That name, laced with both tantalizing promise and shadowed by controversy, hangs over Detroit like an unfinished symphony. Two suspensions, one dragging in shadows of gambling, the other clouded by performance-enhancing substances, combined with a gun incident that thankfully didn't spiral out, have painted a turbulent backdrop to a young star trying to redefine himself on this gridiron stage. Yet in 2023, Williams did more than just show up. He exploded. 58 receptions, over 1,000 yards, 7 touchdowns in a lineup already bursting with talent. His speed slices through defenses like a knife through rust. His hands catch hope itself. Coaches Dan Campbell and John Morton have raved about his work ethic, about glimpses of a superstar carving out a legacy amidst the pressure cooker of a city starved for a championship. But here's the rub. Detroit's salary cap is a beast with ravenous hunger. Locked into massive contracts with Amon-Ra St. Brown, Penei Sewell, Jared Goff, Kirby Joseph, the front office faces a brutal math problem. Can we keep Williams? The brilliant but troubled comet, or will financial gravity pull him away? Brad Holmes, normally steady as a rock, paused when asked about ideal futures with Williams. Could that hesitation be a crack in the foundation? It's not just about money. It's a heart-wrenching balancing act of loyalty, promise, and hard-nosed business. Imagine this. Jameson, the lightning bolt that electrifies Detroit's offense, suddenly traded away. A pawn in a chess game too complex for fans who've already suffered too much. We've stared down heartbreak since 1991, endured furnace-like seasons under Jim Caldwell, waded through drafts, rebuilds, and false dawns. This city, the gritty, unforgiving Detroit, knows what it means to believe, to rebuild from ashes scorched by disappointment. But what if the gamble on Williams pays off in ways no one dares to script? What if this raw young talent becomes the spark that ignites a run deeper than any Lions team will remember? Or worse, what if the curse of cap space and choices crushes our brightest hope just when the window is cracking open? The thought churns like a storm in every fan's gut. And now, as the 2026 season creeps closer, the question doesn't just hover, it screams. Will Williams be wearing Honolulu blue when those crucial games come? Or will he be packed up, sent across the map to fill another team's puzzle? The implications aren't just about touchdowns or yardage. They're about Detroit's identity, about the very soul of a franchise clawing its way back from the abyss. Because if that domino falls, if the Lions truly decide to let go of their most electrifying weapon, the shockwaves will ripple far beyond the field. Who's next to go? Who's left standing when the music stops? And if this move hits, this pivot that no one saw coming, Detroit won't just be coming back. It'll be coming for blood, for respect, for redemption long overdue. So hold on tight, Lions fans, because the fuse is lit. The clock is ticking, and all that's left is to wait for the explosion that could either break us or lift us higher than ever before. Enough silence. Roar now or forever be forgotten. That's the rallying cry echoing through the battered streets of Detroit, a city that's tasted heartbreak so bitter it's left scars deeper than the Detroit River itself. We've survived Jim Caldwell's firing after playoff heartbreaks, weathered the Jim Schwartz chaos that nearly tore the franchise to shreds, watched the young Barry Sanders bolt into retirement with tears streaking down his face, clutching a helmet that once symbolized hope. We remember Calvin Johnson standing on the turf of Ford Field, voice trembling as he announced his retirement, feeling like the soul of a city was fracturing right then and there. And now, as we stare at Jameson Williams, our future lightning in a bottle, the whispers grow louder. Will he be the savior or the curse? His explosive talent ignited Detroit last season's 7 touchdowns, 1,000 yards, the kind of speed that makes defenses look foolish. Yet all anyone can focus on are the shadows trailing behind his name, gambling suspensions, substance tests, a gun incident that could have become a disaster. The tension between loyalty and business, hope and desperation roars louder than the crowd at Ford Field on a Sunday night. Because every front office decision now feels like a gamble with our city's soul hanging in the balance. Every rival in the NFC North smells blood. They see Detroit's fragile peace. The cracks beginning to show, the fragile hope that's teetering on the brink of shattering. That's what makes this moment so electric, yet so dangerous. What if they trade Jameson? What if they look at his troubled past and decide the cap space, the roster spots, the strategic chess match of building a contender is more important than the spark he provides? Doesn't that terrify every Lions fan? First, we endured the 0-1-6 debacle of pit so deep we wondered if we'd ever crawl out, if Detroit's heart had finally been ripped out for good. Then came the Jim Caldwell years, promising starts, playoff hopes dashed, seasons ending in heartbreak, leaving scars that still ache in the shadows of Ford Field. That fire of hope was rekindled last year. Jared Goff's resurgence, Amon-Ra's emergence, Penei Sewell paving the way for a new era, only to have the wound reopen when our young guns couldn't hold it all together in the playoffs. Now the specter of losing Williams looms, a figurative axe ready to fall, a decision that could either cement Detroit's greatest renaissance or shatter the fragile foundation we've built. Think about that. What if Williams isn't traded, but is unsigned when camp starts? What if the front office can't decide whether he's worth the risk or the cost? Or if they're destined to watch him blossom elsewhere while we're left with a hollow victory of cap space? Imagine that moment, the heartbeat of Detroit stuttering as someone calls the number, telling us he's gone. No more flashes, no more electrifying moments that lift us out of the gloom, just a shadow of what once was. Yet, amid this chaos, the question burns hotter. How long can Dan Campbell's fiery spirit hold this team together? How long before the pressure fractures what we fought for? Detroit's history, replete with promises broken and moments of glory, tells us it's always a razor's edge. We're on the cusp of either rewrite or ruin. This is the crucible, the storm that will test everything. Will the Lions finally turn their scars into armor, or will they fold under the weight of their own uncertainty? The clock ticks, and every second feels like a countdown to destiny. So, I ask you, Detroit, are we ready to face the truth? Or will the wind sweep away our hopes, leaving nothing but whispers of what could have been? As the season's dust settles and the silence screams, we didn't fight hard enough. We didn't believe, and the Lions' roar was just a shadow of a legend lost to what-ifs.